Once again, we're headed down a notoriously rough road. Amy kept mentioning that she didn't think that four-wheel campers would ever trust us with one of their vehicles ever again. To which I would respond, "Trust me, Amy, I know from personal experience, this is what these things are made for." Because tailgates are not exactly airtight or anywhere close to it, there is a fine coating of dust on just about everything that we own, every surface. Small inconvenience, but it's definitely something if we were gonna have a setup like this that we would wanna try to dial in as best we could.
Oh, you're a duel.
It was a luxury to be at camp early, so I set about making one of my favorite meals. Soaked on it. These are sweet potato and black bean tacos. They're one of Amy's favorite things that I make, so I always try to make them when we're together. Oh, and they're great made as nachos, which we learned after all but 2 of our tortillas were moldy.
Oops. Oh my God. This is going swimmingly.
Chase is actually good at chopping wood. He set about making a fire so we could enjoy the cool evening outside.
So that's the stuff.
Well, I had one good night's sleep. Sadly, the fire was short-lived. A park ranger came along and told us that the rocks around here have high levels of arsenic and other extremely toxic chemicals in them that can be leached out when they're heated up. This is because the rocks are tailings from nearby mines. With that, we put out the fire and retreated to the camper for the night. After a leisurely morning, we moved over to the racetrack, where we wandered around and soaked up the surreal landscape. Chase took a very different approach by summiting a neighboring peak. Remember this little guy? Well, the time had come to take it to its new home at Teakettle Junction. For years, it's been a tradition for overland travelers to leave tea kettles at this junction. People inscribe notes on them documenting their travels. Even though Owen and I have been here before, we've never had a kettle with us to leave behind. It was an honor to finally add our own with Chase and Amy. And I can't help but smile when I think of this kettle now. Inscribed on ours is a love note to Luna. The last time we were here, so was she. Okay. Maybe Amy was right about four-wheel campers being a little wary about lending us rigs in the future. But hey, no one can say that we didn't put them to the test, right? Turns out the random dirt road we camped down also had a mine. Before getting on the road, we took our time and carefully poked around the site.
Yeah, it's crazy how white all over. This rock looks hairy.
Another day, another dirt road.
That's it.
Is it beer time yet? After a long day of driving out of Death Valley, we were happy to find a quiet place to camp and to sit still for a little while.
Ooh. I like that quite a bit.
This is our favorite kind of afternoon. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Sitting still in one place gives us the chance to soak it in a more meaningful way. Since starting this road trip a week and a half earlier, we had been going so hard we had yet to have a quiet night around a campfire. And I'm sorry, but that short-lived fire a few nights ago doesn't count. It was hard to like. Sitting around a campfire, laughing with our friends is where we feel most at home. Life simply doesn't get any better than this. This is a breakfast place that we never miss when we pass through this area. They give healthy portions of pancakes and baked goods, which is the fastest way to our hearts. And it's also the only proper way to fuel for a day of exploring, obviously. We headed high into the mountains in search of some ancient trees called the Bristlecone Pine.
Woo! I realized that they were raw. Why did I not know
The Bristlecone Pines are an impressive species of tree. The oldest tree in the grove is suspected to be over 5,000 years old, making this species among the oldest living life forms on Earth. Bristlecone pines grow in areas of harsh weather and bad soil where there's little to no competition with other plant life. These conditions make growing a very slow process. It's said that the trees that struggle the hardest are often the ones that live to be the oldest trees on Earth. I feel like there might be a life lesson in there somewhere. Ready to escape the cold, biting wind that is home to the bristlecones, we set off down the mountain to find lower elevations.
Like this, and no one will know who I am.
At camp, we found some boulders just a stone's throw away. And yes, the pun was intended. We spent the remaining light of day wrestling our way to the top of as many boulders as we could get our hands on.
Oh God, this is good. This is cool. Fun! Gotta go my own way. Good, Amy. Awesome.
Ooh, I don't know.
Is it good?
It's so good. Yes!
Is it ready?
Mm-hmm. No trip with Chase and Amy is complete without a little fishing. The conditions were less than ideal, but that didn't keep us from trying. We were completely unsuccessful, but it's hard to be mad about spending the afternoon in such a beautiful place. The time had come for us to head back to four-wheel campers and return these trusty rigs. The state of these rigs felt like proof that we had made the most of our time. They got us to places that Chase and Amy otherwise wouldn't have been able to reach in their rig. And for us, it was a refreshing 2 weeks of being scaled back to the simplicity of a Project M. For all of us, there was a sense of sadness that the trip was over. But it only got us more excited for what lays down the road. That is, if four-wheel campers ever trust us with one of their rigs again. What are you doing here?
I've been expecting you.